I keep telling you that was my last podcast from IT Nation Global Connect 2025 in Orlando again at the Rosen Shingle Hotel. And then I keep adding more on. So I caught up with a busy Peter Kujawa. We're going to talk about that, how busy you are and where you're off. But first of all, from my perspective, great show. It checked all the boxes of a pillar, the 4 or 5 pillars of an event, right? Venue, content, food, sort of a formula. So enjoyed that. And then my audience, the SMB Nation audience, is going to know you for your time at Service Leadership as a quant. So let's start there, and then you can tell us your expanded role as an EVP. So again, you were the guy that did the reports, and there was the benchmark study that used to come out this time of year. Did that come out earlier? Is that coming out? I love the study. I mean, I recycle it.
Well, there's 3 different reports that we produce, Harry. One is on a quarterly basis. Anybody who benchmarks with us gets to view their data and how their data compares to that quarter's best-in-class numbers. So they get to do that online. We don't have a report that we issue about that. That's actually built into the benchmarking tool. So any subscribers get to go in and see that. On an annual basis, we produce 2 reports. You might be referring to our annual profitability report, which comes out in the May-June timeline. And we did come out with that again this June or May, late May, early June. If you didn't get one, let me know. I'm happy to provide you one. Those are available to your listeners. Those are $2,000 US, but we have them as part of our service leadership subscription bundles as well. And then what we did talk about at IT Nation is our annual compensation benchmarking report. Right now, until the end of November, the portal is open for any MSPs to put their comp data in the system. And if they put their data in the system, they get a free report, 2 reports. They'll get in early December, they'll get an early look at wage inflation. And we only send that early look out to anybody who provided their data. So that's an exclusive view. And then in late February, early March, we send out the full 350, 400 pager, whatever it is, up to, where we benchmark over 60 different common positions in the industry and have a lot of analysis around what drives success in paying your people the best. So that is right now being collected.
Yeah, and what I've always liked, and I've told you in past years, is your commitment to primary research. And you're one of the few entities that's doing that in our space. I mean, when I did a tour of duty at Microsoft Research, of course, and then I thought IBM, people like to knock IBM, but God bless them, they do some research. I mean, they have a cultural commitment to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's other good research shops out there. I'm not knocking anybody. What makes us different is everybody who benchmarks with us is aligning to our chart of accounts. So when we talk about service gross margin, for example, or managed service, you're really comparing apples to apples. And everything that we talk about when we talk about industry data, we're pulling that right out of the provider's data itself. So it's not like other research, they'll call you as an MSP. I ran an MSP for 11 years. I used to do a lot of these interviews. And they'll ask you, well, what are you planning on growing this year? What did last quarter look like? Or what does your service gross margin look like? I can tell them anything I want, right? Service leadership, we have subscribers all over the world every quarter putting in their data into our system. We have full balance sheet, income statement, all of it. So we're able to run our data set off of this massive sample, and it's actual data. So when we're talking about revenue growth, it's a really accurate look at revenue growth by category, and there's a lot of differences, but that's probably the biggest.
No, I love it. I'll drop you a note to read on the plane. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So what's your new role? Again, my audience kind of knows you, and you had your lane, and now you've got a super highway with 4 or 5 lanes. What's going on?
Yeah, I still have my day job, still running service leadership and still going out and speaking all over the world about that. So, and that's still my first love. I'm fascinated by the data and and I'm a religious level believer in what it does for MSPs because we benchmarked for 10 of the 11 years I was there. The first year we didn't know about it and struggled, and when we discovered it was transformative. So I still get to do that, which is great. But a year ago, IT Nation was also added to me, and IT Nation includes all of the peer group org under Evolve. So that's now a war. It's 25 years this year. We celebrated last week, and incredible organization. The members, the people I get to work with. It's just a lot of fun. I get to go to an Evolve meeting in Europe next week. Um, and then IT Nation Connect events. So we now do the 3 annual international events: London in March, Sydney, Australia in August, and the big mothership event was last week, the flagship, IT Nation Global in Orlando.
Yeah, so I don't want to hold you from the airport. We're going to talk about that. So give me your talking points on the actual event that I saw you at. Boy, you were busy as bees, man. So
Yeah, it
what
was quite a week.
yeah, what's top of mind for you on that?
Well, we wanted to really focus the event uh, on not only what's going on in the space. Of course, everybody's talking about AI.
Oh,
It's like cloud was back in 2011 or 2012. It can't be an industry article without the word AI in every third word, it seems like. Our focus on the event was not only to talk about AI and the opportunity that's there, but to bring it down to ground level in a way that MSPs could consume the content and go back to their businesses over the weekend on Monday or whenever and start to really implement change in their business. So we had our content team had a selection criteria bias around any sessions, whether they were on leadership or M&A or anything else that included automation or AI practical teachings in it. So I think that was number one. We tried to stress that from the keynote on was that we really wanted to have partners be aware that we at IT Nation and ConnectWise are certainly aware of this, obviously, but it's not just an awareness. We're really focused on trying to help partners drive this transition into their business. So that was the biggest thing. The other was we made a lot of changes to the event to really reinvent it this year that you may have noticed.
I did.
Um,
I did.
Hopefully you did. I got a lot of really positive feedback that there was just a different buzz and a different level of excitement. And we felt like um, it was time for some of those changes, but also with the new regime at ConnectWise, it tied in well to some of the other changes we're making within ConnectWise as an org. So moving the party, for example, from Friday night to Wednesday night, a huge hit. That was a really, really popular move. Ending the event earlier in the day on Friday, again, really popular move. Um, the keynote that we did at 1 o'clock on Friday with Gary Sinise, uh, we weren't exactly sure how many people would stick around till early afternoon, and if people would use that the party ending earlier and all of those things to as an excuse to get out earlier in the day. And it was the opposite. We actually had way more people stick around Friday for the morning sessions and for in the Solution Pavilion Hall and go to the keynote. So we were really, really excited, Harry. It was just a great, great event.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I've said it 100 times, but and I believe it. But man, you're the Rose Bowl. I mean, you
Yep.
know, and I always tell people, and I mean this kindly, but come on, man, it's the Rose Bowl. I mean, you got to go once, right? The University of Washington's in the gate. You got to go. Now, you may not go every year, but just give it a shot, and go once and give it a shot. I don't know how many times I've lost track of how many times I've been, but I got to tell myself, first of all, once I understood what you did with the Goo Goo Dolls on Wednesday night, that worked, right? I had to kind of think it through. Um, and then
Weren't they great?
yeah, yeah, and my intent was to catch a 3:30 Friday flight to back to Austin. And here's what happened. I was stuck 2 days with the air
Oh,
cancellation.
sorry to hear that. I know a lot of others were too.
Yeah, I didn't get out till late Saturday night, and my colleague Jamar, who you met, we hopped in his car. He lives in Tampa, and I stayed in his guest room. I mean, I'm like, Jamar, I'm stuck. But Peter, it was real. I mean, it was a real phenomena, and I haven't been stuck in years. Hey, let's wrap on. We're headed into 2026. What's on your plate? What's on ConnectWise's plate in 26?
Well, ConnectWise is fully focused on the delivery of the platform. We've talked about it for years. We talked about where we're at. Manny talked about it. David Racepor and Jeff Bishop certainly talked about it. But it's full speed ahead on that and on embedding AI and automation further into all of our products and what we do. And for the same reason that we've existed for a long time, and that is to help make our partners more successful, more efficient, deliver better service and results to their customers. So we're already seeing that automation built in. The announcements were there about the automation being built into our SOC and SIM products, and you'll just see a lot more of that in an accelerated clip. From an IT Nation standpoint and service leadership standpoint, IT Nation, we're already focused in on London and Australia, and we've spent a lot of time this week debriefing on the event last week. As well as it went, we can always do things better. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
so we're already in the planning stages for a year from now. We are trying to, take a little bit of a victory lap and smell the sweet air now that the event's done. But um, so we're focused on that. For service leadership, we're focused on two ends of the spectrum. We launched at the event a small partner benchmarking product called
Oh, no.
Benchmarking Essentials, and
Yeah.
that ties in really nicely to a relaunch of a smaller partner peer group offering called Evolve Essentials. So we're trying to really get the word out that if you're a smaller partner, you have 5, 6, 8 employees, 10 employees, you're not too small to get started in benchmarking a peer group and start to get the advantages that flow out of all that. And so you'll hear a lot of that. The other service leadership is also focused on building out a product for multi-location roll-ups that will allow them to benchmark the parent and the child. You'll hear a lot more about that in Q2 of next year, Harry.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear the small business thing. And I think I've told you in passing, SMB Nation, we kind of landed on the S of SMB. I called us the community college system. So it was large numbers. And, thank God I used Dynamics. We did that magazine. We had 60,000 records, the Microsoft Partner Magazine. And so what we did, and Arlen, it's always been complimentary. In fact, some of the 25-year-old posts, but we were a feeder to HTG, right?
Sure.
That's how the game's played. You go to a community college, and
Yeah,
then
sure.
a certain subset of that goes to grad school, right? That was always our understanding, right? Because we treated HTG as grad school, and it worked well. And I appreciate his, he gave me a love tap in his review of the 25 years. So we'll end on this. Where are you going? And, so you're off to the airport. Where are you going?
Portugal. We have Evolve Q4 EMEA meetings that will run all next week. And so I get to go into those rooms and meet in the small groups, just like I do in North America all year. And I go to Australia and do it in August. So it's a lot of fun. It's almost as draining as an IT Nation Connect event, but not quite. But it's really fulfilling going in groups of 8 to 10 to 12 companies and helping them with their challenges. And I get to do that next week.
Yeah. And again, we're not here for me, but I'll share Portugal. I mean, I kind of made a list of 5 places that I love back in my power band years with travel. And Lisbon, Sydney, Cape Town, there's just some real jewel. And honestly, a lot of people think Seattle's gorgeous. I'm a little jaded. I live there.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. There's, I think, 3 states I've never been to, and Washington and Oregon are 2 of them. So I got to get out there, Harry. I'm a wine drinker, so
Yeah.
it's criminal that I haven't been out there for that reason alone.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll talk soon. Hey, safe travel, Peter.
Thanks, Harry. Nice to see you. Take care.
Bye bye.